There we
All
go.
right, we're gonna see how good we're gonna see how good your post-production editing is.
There we
after
go,
that
man.
Fiasco. I apologize.
No, you're good, man. I was actually laughing when you responded because I said this must be par for the course for anyone who's related to CrossFit. Because when I had Matt on, we had a full-blown power outage right in the middle. And it was hard to get him on. And I was like, fuck, and I had right in the middle of it. And then our power was out for 3 days. It was like this huge tornado
Really?
that went through Chicago and just knocked out a ton of.
Geez.
So it was like all of West Chicago was out of power for like 3 to 5 days. And so,
Oh man, that's brutal.
I know it sucked.
No, ours, I don't even know. I mean, there's nothing that would suggest a power outage is happening. I mean, it's like blue skies, totally clear out. There's
you guys
no
have
weather.
like those blackouts though, don't you? I mean, you guys have like
we do, yeah, but not typically this time of year, and they usually announce it ahead of time.
Oh, okay, that's good.
We've also had like we've had a handful of like electrical issues this summer because we upgraded to solar.
Oh,
and
nice.
In the process of like getting the solar system set up, there's been some issues. Like we overloaded the grid because we were producing power, and like the converter on the street wasn't handling it well, and it like kind of went faulty. And so we were having I was having like daily power outages that were just like, I was like, what is happening? My internet is getting so messed up. Like
that's such a bummer. It's funny how we're just so stuck to the internet too. You know what I mean? It's like it's constant, man.
Yeah.
But cool. Just so you know too, I do have to run at 10 my time. So in about 20
that's
minutes.
fine. That's okay. We can start to move in that direction, and I have some things I should probably get to as well. But
okay.
Yeah,
perfect.
Let's do it.
So I think we were talking, if I remember correctly, we were getting into functional bodybuilding and how you were coming up with the kind of the concept, and you were talking about just like, you know, after the games in 2016, I believe, just the exhaustion and kind of getting your mental and physical state back in place, and then you wanted something that could kind of get you feeling good again, and then I think we lost you there after that. Oh, we good? There we go.
Yep.
We're good.
I had an unstable connection. Yeah, no, you're right. That's where we were at in the conversation. And it was, there was a number of things that just sort of pointed towards me needing to shift things for myself. And then on top of that, I always use social media as a platform with my CrossFitting. This goes back to 2012 when I first started getting coached by an individual coach, where the method by which I would report back to my individual coach was create a blog and showcase my training on that blog. Oh, so I used my blog, which people search hard enough they can find it on the internet. But I had a blog where I used to showcase training results in my training journey and process.
That's cool.
That training process that was showcased through the blog got a lot of, a small amount of attention, but it got some early adopters and followers and people that ended up being clients of mine. Then when Instagram became a tool that I could use and I got used to using it, I was like, oh, this is basically where I'm going to blog. I'm just going to put my training here. And I didn't show highlights. I showed the process. I did that for years. I did that when I was a competitor. I showed highlights for sure, but I also showed just like, this is how I train. Yeah. That helped me grow my own business, helped me grow, just a process of like teaching people. And I love that.
Yeah.
So then post 2016, as my training is changing to sort of help facilitate my health and wellness and balance in life, as I was showing that on social media, people got really interested in it. So I was a competitive CrossFit athlete who was getting this level of engagement. Then post CrossFit games, I started sharing exercises like, with bands and doing rehab stuff and doing things that were not traditional CrossFit. And it got more engagement. People were like, whoa, Marcus, what are you doing? I see you're doing muscle ups one day and then you're doing banded isolation work another day, and you're doing landmine presses and things that people weren't typically seeing on my channel and other CrossFit Games athletes channels.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, so the response was, hey, I want more of this. How do I get more of this? And that kind of was the first indication that, hey, look, this audience is interested in something that goes beyond just the daily high intensity grind. They want more. They want more thoughtful training approaches and at least exposure to stuff. So that was like when I was having this feeling of like my training is a bit bodybuilding, a bit functional. It's a combination. People like it. I'll coin this term. I mean, functional bodybuilding had been used in a variety of different contexts prior to that, but I started to attach it to what I was doing. And then things sort of took off from there, where it's like for the last 3 or 4 years, we've been more and more defining what the brand and the method of functional bodybuilding is. And people, it's really captured a lot of attention because people resonate with it a lot. I
Yeah.
didn't just like, and I wasn't like, I need to come up with something that like really is different. It was like, no, I just was doing what I was doing. People liked it. I spoke, it spoke to them. So we did more of it.
Right. Got it. Okay. And how did you, was bodybuilding just always something that you yourself, you were interested in, and then you were like, this is something I should bring back into the fold with CrossFit movements? Like, I'm curious how you decide like what, and maybe give everyone maybe just a real brief, overview of like what functional bodybuilding means. Maybe that'd be helpful too.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think it's just for like general consumption out there. It's like people know functional from sort of GPP training, CrossFit, different types of functional training. People know bodybuilding from like you go to the gym and you lift to like impact your aesthetics, like change the way you look. I mean, obviously there's bodybuilding, the sport. Most people that say they do bodybuilding, it means they go and do like a kind of a body part split at the gym, and they focus on developing their body parts through muscular contractions.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, are you a bodybuilder or are you a functional trainer? Or do you do a little bit of both? And do you want to be in the middle? Are you somebody that values good quality movement and, movements that might have carryover to your life? And are you somebody that values aesthetics? Like you want to look good?
Yeah.
Most people are kind of somewhere in the middle. Maybe they lean a little bit more towards the aesthetic side, or maybe they lean more towards the functional side. But there's a few people that are like, I just want to be able to be strong, and I don't care if I look terrible.
Right.
And there's other people that are like, I want to look really good, but I don't want to be able to like not walk and like go for a hike.
Yeah. Right.
So that's functional bodybuilding in a nutshell. Okay. And the methods that get you there are very vast and wide. And of course, as we've done it, as I've delivered it, and what I tend to really love to do, has more, it talks to people more, and there's more of that showing up in our training programs. And the bodybuilding influence that I had was, when I was younger, I wanted to have muscles. So I go to the gym to lift, and I followed, the Muscle Magazine workouts. And I appreciated the sport of bodybuilding. I followed competitors. I knew a lot about the sport in my early days of training, and loved looking up to like the old school bodybuilders that even preceded Arnold, but Arnold being, one of the big influences for sure for me. I mean, it takes tremendous discipline to change your body, tremendous discipline, from an aesthetic standpoint, just like it takes tremendous discipline to learn how to snatch 150 kilos, right? That's
definitely, yeah.
But they're just different sports. One's not better than the other, in my opinion. They're just athletes that are doing something physically. They're trying to transform themselves physically. So I value all of that stuff. I think it's really cool. It's always been of interest to me. And so I have a lot of that bodybuilding background in me from when I was a teenager in my early 20s. I have a lot of that functional fitness background from my years of being a collegiate athlete, as well as CrossFit. And I look back on all of it, and I can see the things that I did in each arena that were really valuable and applicable to a wide audience, and things that I did in each arena that were not, and that are probably contraindicated to a wide audience, like the extreme dieting for bodybuilding to get sub 5% body fat. Like nobody needs to do that. Very few people need to do that unless you're getting paid to do it. And it's not conducive to a healthy, balanced lifestyle. Just like, doing 4 tough training sessions a day with multiple metcons and, weight training, like that's not necessary. You don't need to do that to live a healthy, balanced lifestyle. So But I don't regret having done each of them,
Yeah.
because I learned a
Right.
lot from it.
Right. No, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. No, that's really cool. I think, it's something I've been interested in. I've been following what you've been putting out. And I was curious too. I think the other thing for people listening, if you want to check it out, so your plans, you sell like the plan itself, right? And they're normally just give everyone background because there's a lot of different things out there. It's a certain amount of, is it like a certain amount of weeks? So you're buying like upfront, like a training plan for a certain amount of time, and then you bring out new ones that you buy each individually. Is that how that works?
Yeah. So really now it's like the functional bodybuilding subscription is called Persist. You sign up for our Persist training program, and they're cycles of six weeks of training. We have a minimalist track and we have a full equipment track. So, that was brought on by the pandemic. People that are
Yeah.
training at home, people that are training with minimal equipment. That's actually something that will be very, very common in the years to come, even after gyms reopen and the pandemic is behind us. People have grown to appreciate the ease and the flexibility that training at home or training with minimal equipment offers them. So I think that we're going to always have some place for that within our program design. But
Gotcha.
you sign up for the program, you get, being part of our program, you're going to get access to this great training. You're going to get a training app that helps you to understand why you're doing what you're doing, full of coaches' notes and training, exercise demonstration videos, etc. We have a community page that people engage on and they ask questions and they post their results to. I do a free live webinar for our members every single month where I, put together a slide deck with my business partner. We talk about a specific topic that's very interesting and relevant to our audience, because they're the ones that are feeding us this kind of content ideas.
Yeah.
And then we have periodic, we have nutrition lifestyle challenges to accompany the training program. So there's a place all throughout this, functional bodybuilding world to learn. So I say we're a free education company, and you can experience it through a paid option of doing our training programs.
Got
So
it. Okay.
I'm
Cool.
teaching people all the time. That's what I put out, 2 emails a week with educational content in it. Every one of my social media posts is, here are free movements that you can try. This is why I do it. Some I go into more depth on the method than others, but it's just content to consume and to learn from. We have great downloads on our website where you can go and get sample training programs. You can get sample nutrition programs. You can learn a ton. So it's like, come learn from me, because I
Yeah.
feel like the more I can offer in the way of education, the more, I'm going to potentially have an impact on your long-term success. And when people resonate with a method and with an idea and they want to go and experience it, then that's where I can provide you like an experience that you can, that's the business. It's pay for the program.
Got it. Yeah. Love it. No, that's really cool. It's really cool. How can people find you and find Revival Strength and all your plans? What's the best place for people to check out?
Yeah, go to revival-strength.com and please sign up for that newsletter, that email list. We have there hasn't been a week that's gone by in the last 3 years where I haven't put out a content driven email that breaks down something that is ideally useful for somebody in their health and fitness journey. So if you sign up to the email list, you're going to get some great program offers, free programs that are just you can go and explore and try today. You're going to get content every single week that hopefully is useful to you. It's not super salesy. It's just like, here, learn from us. And then periodically we'll tell you about a program that we're launching that you can take part in if you want to, and sign up and be part of the growing functional bodybuilding subscription community. So that's it. And then you can go to at Marcus Philly on Instagram. And that's a great place to just see what's happening every day in the training life.
Yeah. You got the cool setup, high quality camera, the whole thing. It's legit.
I'm doing it. I became the media department for our company during COVID. So
Oh, nice. There you go.
I'm learning all about
Yeah.
this stuff as quickly as I can.
There's a lot to it. The
Totally.
last two questions I always love to ask guests. Number
Yeah.
one, if you had to suggest one book, source, like podcast, source of knowledge in general to the listeners, what would that be?
Ooh, I mean, I would go very broad and just say, like, I'm somebody who my limitations in, reading uh things on actual like text, like books, and I struggle to consume information off the page fast enough for it to really like capture me.
Okay. Yeah.
Audible.com was just it's totally changed my life. Like, I now
Awesome.
consume books, and
Yeah.
I do believe it's like anybody that I really respect and admire. um I look at, what is something that they do. It's typically they read a lot and they meditate.
Yeah.
And I've been
Yep.
wanting to incorporate both those into my life for a long time in a structured way. And I'm like, thanks to Audible, I'm able to, like, read at I can outpace my 1 credit a month,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I think is great. So,
That's awesome.
um,
I know I always had a problem with Audible with just bad narrators, but if you get good
yeah.
ones, it's a game changer, and you actually like get
Oh
it.
yeah.
I mean, it can be like a whole
Better.
different. Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's gotten, yeah, the authors now recognize how important that is, and they're getting better narrators, or they themselves are reading it.
Yes.
And,
Which is the
thankfully
best.
there's the 1.5 or 2x speed for the slow talkers out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good advice. Love that. And then last question, love to ask people, someone like you who's, always trying to put out content, you run a business, you have a crazy training schedule, and you're a dad, a husband, you have a busy life. What do you use to set goals and basically plan like daily tasks in like weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever you focus on? Is it like simple as pen and paper? Do you have apps you use? Like, what do you use to organize everything you got to do?
Yeah, well, I'm getting better at the weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual planning from a business perspective. That's sort of been a goal for me and my business partner for the last 3 to 6 months, is to actually get out of the weeds of, like, we're always just kind of triaging and catching up, and feeling like we're just barely breathing.
Yeah. Right.
So that has been a combination of, like, you know setting a good meeting cadence, weekly, monthly, quarterly meeting schedules, and then having like good follow-up documents that say this is what we're actually doing. But for me, on a day-to-day basis, I have a journal, a pen and
Love it.
paper journal, and then I have my notes, on my Apple computer that I open up, and it syncs to my phone. So if I'm constantly like updating different notes on there, and then maybe once a week I'll go through and clean it out and just, like, get rid of all the stuff that's just accumulating in the notes section. But the combination of those two things helps keep me just focused on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Got it. Love it.
And then Slack for Business has been hugely impactful. We adopted Slack for our business just because of COVID, and all of our employees were at home and our coaches were at home. And we're like, oh, we need this thing. And I'm like, why the hell didn't we use this before? Like,
so nice.
there's just, it's so, I mean, I don't even know what I'd do without it. It's
it
like,
really
gotta
does.
have
Unless you're dealing with external people, if you're mainly dealing with internal people, it's just so much more efficient than email.
oh my gosh, so much more.
So much better. So
But then again, I can't, like, for some reason, I can't streamline everything to one place. I've got, with my business partner, I've got text messages, DMs,
yeah.
Emails, and Slack messages. And we often joke, like, wait, where did I put that message to you? It's like, we got to just cut all the other stuff out.
Someone needs to come up with something where it just combines everything. I even say that for this podcast. Half the time I'm like on Instagram or LinkedIn, and then it moves to email, and like, you're just like always talking to people on all sorts of different stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Marcus, thank you so much. This was a great episode. A lot of fun getting to know you and chatting through
Apologize
everything.
for all the tech we had.
No worries, man. It's we're all on Zoom these days. I think everyone is on the same page with technical difficulties. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. And we'll definitely have to do this again. I think we can go down a lot of different rabbit holes. So I appreciate the
Definitely.
time, man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Awesome. Well, have a good one, Marcus. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care, Shane.
All
Bye-bye.
right. See ya.